Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, live from the Toyota Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. You might have needed the all-wheel drive today, the rain happening. It is, am I allowed to call this training camp day 4? Or is it training camp day 7, really?
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Yeah. So day 6, I guess.
It's really day 5.
Okay. We're calling the off day an off day.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Avs make some cuts. Some other news from training camp or practice or whatever you want to call it today. We'll get into all of that. And then we'll also talk about how prepared the Avs really are. It'll be interesting. We'll see exactly where we end up on it. But we can start with, obviously, the... I don't know if it's the biggest news of the day, but maybe the most relaxing news of the day. Cale Makar at practice, skated.
I'm awake at 6:30, right?
Yep.
And don't judge me. And
I feel like you wouldn't get judged for that.
well, just because you and I used to be night gremlins.
Used to be.
Yeah. And now
Still am, brother.
You're a night gremlin and I'm a traitor to the cause. But I get that email this morning with the groups,
yeah,
and I look at it, and it doesn't even cross my mind. Probably because it was so early, but it was just like
that Cale Makar's name was on it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, well, they made this a very easy day for us.
Yep. There was the team,
great,
and then not the team,
the Eagles. Yeah. It was very easy for us. So no, it was. It was great to see, and then you get out there and you just see me skating around, and you're like,
looks fine.
All right, all is well.
Yeah.
For once, precautionary meant precautionary.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice when they're not actually hurt when you do that.
Yeah. I wish we had a T-shirt with our faces on it. It said Night Gremlins.
Night Gremlins.
That sounds awesome. Back in the day, we had Megan and the Bummers. Now we could be the Night Gremlins.
Yeah, but you're Dayman now. Like.
Oh, like the worst superhero of all time. Dayman. What does he do? He's awake during the day.
Yeah, but you're also a master of karate and champion of the sun.
Okay.
I can be Nightman.
That sounds awesome.
I'm not Evan's the Always Sunny guy. I don't actually watch the show, so.
You know what I watch? I watch TikTok clips. I watch all the funniest parts on TikTok.
Yep. Not just Makar, though. Brent Burns also skating today, so whatever tweak that was seems fine, too. The Avs defense hopefully not going into the season decimated.
Yeah. No, looked, honestly, I've got thoughts on both guys. So once we actually dive into it, I got thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to start with individual guys, or do you want to go over, it was power play day, special teams day, I should say, today.
So it was not special teams day immediately. They did their usual, hey, let's warm up. Then they did 5-on-5, man.
Actual
they
5-on-5.
did,
the one day I don't go.
They worked 5-on-5, and they specifically had McKinnon's line, Nelson's line matched against each other. Dion, could we bring up the Group 1 roster so we could just look through some lines? So they had McKinnon's line, Nelson's line matched up 1-on-1, and then they matched Drury versus Bardakov.
That's
the entire time.
Yeah, that's nice. I wish I was there to watch
the entire time. It was 5v5, those guys. Thank you so much. And those defense pairings were solid. The one thing I will say about the defense pairing, I was excited that Wyatt Amada's in there, right?
Yeah.
I'm not excited that it very clearly looks like he is a Sam Girard stand-in next to Josh Manson.
Fill in a hole, yeah.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why? I'm not going to get too upset about it until
Girard's back.
Until he's actually back and he's actually in that spot in the lineup.
The next round of cuts, or Amont, I should say, is in the next round of cuts.
I do really like what I saw from Malinsky Burns. The very first drill of the day. Nathan McKinnon, superhero, right? One of his specialties, especially next to Marty Necas, that should be the line that dominates zone entries more than any other in the NHL.
Yeah.
They start off, very start of the day, can't get in. Cannot get into the zone.
Love it. Or do I hate it, I guess?
Malinsky, Burns held the zone. They're talking. And this is one thing about Brent Burns that I've already really taken a shine to. That guy, we see the off-ice personality. He brings it on the ice. Yep.
This has been a problem for years in Colorado.
Yeah.
I would say 15 to 20 reviews a year. I'm breaking down a goal, and I'm like, the problem here is the two defensemen didn't communicate.
Talk. Please. But I really liked what they did, but also, like, it's not like the McKinnon line was unable to get in against just those two. That's the Nelson,
Yep.
Lehkonen and Landeskog, like,
good luck.
So they couldn't get in. And the only way that they could get into the drill was to stop it.
Yeah.
And then just have Bednar shoot the puck into the corner and go, okay, go get it now.
I'll get you in there.
Yeah, did not have a lot of success, that line, going against the Nelson line. Am I worried that the McKinnon line looked blah? Or am I encouraged that the Nelson line was that good defensively?
I mean, I wouldn't overstate either of those takes.
It is practice.
But I'm certainly not worried about Nathan McKinnon being able to get in the zone. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah. Especially because it wasn't like it's like a standing start from a drill, right? But when you're into 2-3 attempts at it, you're like, oh, come on now.
Let's get in here.
Yeah. So that was encouraging. I kind of like that Nelson combination. I don't know that you want to break up Nelson and Landeskog. They click. The two of them look good together.
All training camp, they've looked like there's a little chemistry there. My question there is, how much do you believe in Nelson's defensive acumen?
I believe in it more than I think what the analytics would tell you.
Sure.
Because I think he was getting used in a role in New York at times that was not good. I think he was being used as like a strong defensive stopper. And we know that that's not
that's
him.
a way oversell of his abilities.
Yeah, that he's not Sebastian Aho, right? He's not Barkov. Like, he's not a guy that you want in like a, we're going to go out here and we're going to erase an opposing line. No. That's not a good role for him, but I do like him to take some of the defensive minutes off, especially true when you're trying to figure out what's going on with Zakhar Bardakov. What do you have in him? You want to shelter him a little bit early on. You want to just throw him into the deep end and be like, well, that's our defensive line. And Jack Drury against two guys who are going to score 20 goals this year.
Not designed
Jack Drury with two
play
guys who are going to
shutdown
score.
D for
exactly.
Sure, yeah.
Ross Colton and Victor Olofsson on a shutdown defensive line, not great. But you put Brock Nelson with Gabe Landeskog and Arturi Lehkonen, and I think part of your thinking is we can lean on him.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's twofold, right? You can heavy lean on that because you trust Landy and Lehkonen, regardless of Nelson's caliber of defense.
Especially knowing Landeskog's history covering for a poor defensive
Being
center.
the pseudo center and the F3 in his own zone would be more accurate, probably. But I think the other side of that is if you get Nelson to a point where his defense is at least serviceable, then you can get creative. Maybe you move a Victor Olofsson up like we've talked about on a couple of shows. Maybe you drop an Arturi Lehkonen down to a third line to create a more stable defensive unit of a third line.
Yep.
I don't know how quickly you're willing to do that. It depends greatly on how the Avs click through the first 10, 15 games of the season, more than training camp, really.
Absolutely.
But if Nelson can be serviceable defensively and give you what you expect out of him offensively, it opens up a lot of options for you in your middle six.
I think I've tried really hard to temper my Brock Nelson expectations.
Sure.
Because part of it is a lot of people, long-time listeners know that I really like the New York Islanders. have for a long time. Really like Brock Nelson as a player. I also think that Brock Nelson has a chance to like
Pop off.
blow up in how Colorado likes to play.
He loves the rush.
And we saw a little bit of it last year, and I was willing to give some of it a pass just because some of the disappointments that we had in his play, because he had never been traded.
Yeah.
He's got as established a family life as you can, given he played there his whole career.
Yep.
And he's into his 30s. This isn't like a guy that's like, oh, he's been there for 4 years, you know? Like his whole career, he's been there. And he's got to handle all the off-ice stuff. I wish he was around to just like give us that perspective of how hard is this?
Your first real move.
And it's something that he talked about early on. In like media day, training camp, like early on in this in training camp, interviews that we had done with him, that he's gonna be able to focus better. He's here. He's been here. He can just lock it down. Just play hockey now. He can go out there and do his thing. Really sink his teeth into the system. Yeah. And I think that all of this is so incredibly encouraging. You cannot do a better job of setting a guy up for success than giving him Arturi Lehkonen, Gabe Landeskog, Valery Nichushkin, Martin Netchis, Ross Colton, Victor Olofsson as two of his forwards that he's going to play the most with this year. Yeah. You cannot set, and then a system that will be able to put a spotlight on his skating ability and his shooting ability. And then the power play work today, I know we're going to get to it soon, but the power play today, we get our first look. Okay, you've had the offseason to figure this out, Dave Haxtell. Who are the guys you want on the ice? Brock Nelson on first power play unit.
Sure was. What percentage of Brock Nelson's hair is gray?
Most of it.
Over 50%?
Yeah.
Can Brock Nelson's point total equal his gray percentage? That's what I'm getting at here.
I'll ask him tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's see if we can go like 70 for 70.
Yeah, I'm in for it.
No, I'm all about that. That sounds great.
We will get to the power play stuff in a minute. Before that, the other news that came out yesterday, Avs technically made their first cuts of training camp. It's just the guys going back to their junior teams. There's not really
easiest cuts they've ever made
there. Yeah,
and it's not even a performance thing. It's not like,
it's
these
just
guys are
hey, the Canadian junior season starts this week, so go back to your teams and get ready.
They had a couple of Canadian junior guys. Christian Humphries was the only one that was healthy. Max Curran and Linus Funk both got hurt during the rookie showcase.
Yep, which still
sucks.
Not sure how serious or unserious their injuries are.
I mean, Funk seemed. I mean, the people when we were around the rink
and stuff.
When we were around the rink, they were like, we're not.
Yeah.
But you remember Brian Wilsey was like during that interview that we did.
Yeah.
He was like, he's got time. Or it was Marco Testu. Sorry. He said he's got time.
Yeah.
Like he'll be at more of these in the future. Where you were like, okay, he's done.
Yep. He's not
for a while.
For a bit.
Like, he's done for a while. Max Curran, curious. We have no idea. He played both games, and we never heard anything about it.
They didn't even really say what the injury was with him, so
total mystery.
Don't know on that one, but anyway, those three have been sent back to their junior teams, and I think Friday is opening day. Well, they have the weird early game, but anyway, that will be more hockey that I get to sit around and watch, waiting for the regular season to get here. But
I'll tell you, after last year, I was pretty blah on Christian Humphries.
He has a good training camp. Good training camp and rookie showcase for him.
This was a good showing for him. Even the game he played at DU the other day, he's obviously has to stop taking penalties, but there was a lot to like there. And when you're talking about a 7th round pick of like, okay, like you and I have lived through so many rookie camps and training camps where 7th round picks come in and you're like, oh my gosh, like no, we're good.
For Humphries, I think the most important thing were the feet.
Yes.
The feet looked a lot better this year for him.
I think you did that, and there was probably behind the DNVR thing.
That's why I said it. As I was doing it, I was like, oh, the feet.
The feeties.
But it looked decent. We do need to take our first break of the show, though, so let's make sure we're paying our bills. so we don't get injured or something. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, that didn't really work. I don't know what to tell you. What does work is getting your tickets through Game Time. That's how I got tickets to the Avs DU game. You can jump in with Game Time today. Use all sorts of different features to save yourself a ton of money, including signing up with code DNVR to get $20 off when you first download the app. Of course, terms apply there, but once you're in the app, you can use a section selector to save money. You can get last-minute ticket deals to save money, and you can use the Game Time Picks feature where you search for the tickets you want, and it'll filter out all the junk, only showing you the best tickets for the best price based on what you search for. So download the Game Time app today. Join over 15 million people that get their tickets through Game Time. It even shows you the all-in price, so fees are included. Know your total upfront with no surprises at checkout. Again, a bunch of different ways to get tickets and save deals. They even show you panoramic view from your seats in the app before you buy. They guarantee you the lowest price. If you find tickets cheaper elsewhere, Game Time will credit you 110% of the ticket price. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets to college football, NFL football, Avalanche games, wherever it is with Game Time. Use that DNVR code when you download the app for $20 off your first purchase. Tap Ticket Go. Download the Game Time app today. And then, like I mentioned, we are in the Toyota Lounge. We are brought to you by Toyota, especially on rainy days like this. Important to get yourself into a Toyota with 17 different models with all-wheel or four-wheel drive, so you can keep yourself on the road like the epic 4Runner. Of course, they also have trucks and sedans and everything else in between. Toyota's got it all when it comes to vehicle options, and they offer more low and zero-emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. They have 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from with Toyota, including the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. They even got you covered there. Their SUVs take command on the road or on the trail so you can explore the road less traveled without sacrificing smooth city rides in SUVs like the RAV4 and Grand Highlander. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you, including AutoNation Toyota Rathbone Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and, of course, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. They are the official vehicle of DNVR. Toyota, let's go places. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Let's get into the power play stuff a little bit more.
Yeah.
Top unit ends up being McKinnon with Nelson, with Natchez. Obviously, Makar at the top. Valnichushkin makes 5. Now, positionally, it did sound like Hackstall was messing with Natchez in the standard McKinnon spot at times.
Yes. So basically, they were alternating. Every time they would do a drill, they would have Natchez on the half wall or McKinnon on the half wall. When McKinnon was not on the half wall, he was in the center of the ice. When Natchez was not on the half wall,
he's on the right side.
He was below the dots, and he was kind of roaming around a little bit more.
Which is similar to last year.
Yeah. So they're taking a look at different alignments there. I'll be honest, it looked clunky.
Sure.
They did score like a nice goal or two. But if you were watching both units, power play 1, power play 2, you're watching power play 2.
Flow a little bit better.
Have a lot more fun.
Okay. Fair enough. Well.
But also keep in mind, power play 1 is going against Scott Wedgwood and the top PK guys that were available. Power play 2 is going against.
A lot harder, yeah.
Yeah, power play 2 is going against Trent Miner and kind of the backups, like the guy like Sam Malinsky type,
sure.
Right? Like guys that are not going to be on the PK.
Right.
That are out there because it's well, you're out here, like we need guys to do stuff.
You gotta fill a role.
Yeah, exactly. Which great for them. That's opportunity for them.
So if you have McKinnon in the middle, Nelson net front,
they had him in the old Rantanen spot.
Okay, so leaning on the shooting ability there potentially.
Yes, and they did try and set him up. The one big one-timer he tried to rip off, he whiffed on, and then retrieved the puck, immediately gave it to Makar, who gave it to Natchez, who did something cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I mean, we're making hay.
My question is, does that add consistency to the Avs power play? Because the Avs power play, when it's good, can score on anyone. It doesn't really matter.
I think my personal opinion, sorry to cut your question short,
no,
but
it's fine.
The big thing, I think consistency on the power play is a myth. All special teams units go through runs. It's just how high are the highs and how short are the lows. Because the lows for everybody are always they didn't score. They're 0 for 11 in their last 4 games. Like everybody goes through those. But it's how quickly can you get it out of there?
Okay, so maybe consistency is the wrong word. Do you think this can raise the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, absolutely I do, because I just think it's a deeper unit. You know, last year on the top power play unit, you had Jonathan Duran and Marty Necas, two really good passers. But Jonathan Duran was in that traditional shooter spot on the wall, on the left, on the other side. I guess it's the right wing.
Just not very threatening from that side.
He's not trying to do that, and teams know that. And you're not going to put him net front. Right now, you look at that unit. Cale Makar is the smallest player on there, which he's the defenseman, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Bailey Curtis of the Hockey News. We were just chatting about it as it was all going on. And it's like, okay, well, why this unit, right? Brock Nelson, 30-goal guy. Nathan MacKinnon, 30-goal guy. Cale Makar, 30-goal guy. Val Nichushkin would be a 30-goal guy if he could stay healthy. He's been on 40-goal pace the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And then you have
Necas as a
25-goal guy. I think he has I think he scored like 27, 28, like somewhere in that range last 2 seasons. So you're talking about, geez, that's a lot of goals. But they all have different strengths. You've got Nichushkin is your puck hound. That's your guy that goes and retrieves it. But he has a little more offensive ceiling than Arturi Lehkonen.
Yep.
Okay, great. He makes sense as your net front guy. I'm a little surprised it's not Gabe Landeskog, because I think he's better at most all of the basic things that you really like about Nichushkin.
Sure.
But it's a pick your poison. Like, if you
no doubt we'll see it rotate throughout the year.
If you don't score, then you just switch it.
Yeah.
And that meant that Gabe Landeskog is, I mean, you look at the second power play unit.
Yep. Before we do that, really quickly, I just did want to mention, I do think it's worth reiterating, if you have Nelson on the right side or Necas on the right side, someone with more willingness to shoot the puck is important on that side, because we've seen MacKinnon get into these ruts at times on the power play where he just refuses to be the shooter.
Yeah.
And it cannot be just Cale Makar being the guy who says, fine, I'll shoot the puck. You need somebody else to be that threat.
Yeah. And you need somebody, it keeps the PK honest. They can't cheat over to that side the same way.
Yep.
And it also means that they cannot pack super tightly in to remove that little,
have to get out there.
To remove that little chip play into the bumper spot.
Yep. Which MacKinnon loves that too.
Exactly. And that's the weird thing when Necas was on the half wall and MacKinnon was in the middle. The right hand, it's not a natural fit.
Yeah. So
I think you just kind of need to see like a little something that makes us it was sort of an awkward fit.
Sure.
Right away. And I would like to see them continue to try to move. I would be okay if they moved MacKinnon down below the goal line a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's not really there's a reason that Necas slipped into that role last year.
Yeah.
Because he's the better natural playmaker, passer. Yeah. And if you're the team, if you're the penalty killing team, and you watch Nathan MacKinnon go below the goal line with the puck,
you leave him there.
You just say thank you.
One less weapon to score on us.
This was we used to talk about this with Rantanen all the time.
Yep.
Well, thank you for doing us that huge favor.
Yep.
But the difference is with this unit, every single one of the other guys on the ice can smoke a puck past you.
Yep. Even Necas has a really good shot.
And that's what scares you about it.
PP Unit 2, Landeskog, Lehkonen, Olofsson were the forwards locked in on it. You had Burns and Taves running the defensive side, but then you also had Colton rotating in.
Burns and Taves were not together.
Okay, so just swapping
very
opportunities.
Often. Yeah, they were rotating, but occasionally they did. I know they did at least one look with Colton sitting out, and then they did do Taves and Burns. But I don't think that's going to stick personally.
Hey, we've talked at length about trying to shave down minutes for someone like Devon Taves. So
yeah, and this is a perfect opportunity to do it. For some reason, that means we're giving more minutes to the guy that's 40, but
if he can handle it,
right? Brent Burns is the man, so it's all good. I like this unit, and they clicked. They looked real comfortable. How much of that is that they are not going against the tip-top PK guys the Avs
Sure
have to
helps,
offer?
Yeah.
And that Trent Miner is in net?
Logan O'Connor's not on the ice for either unit.
Exactly. Well, and Parker Kelly and Zakhar Bartikov are down there doing the first one, which I'll get to in a sec. But, like, yeah, you are tearing it up a little bit against guys that you're saying, well, you know, they're not. Like, Brent Burns is going to be one of your top PK guys, and he's on the power play.
Yep.
Yeah. Devon Taves, too. So you're not going against those guys. And I think that's important context to reiterate when we're talking about, the second power play unit was rolling. They looked good. They had chemistry. They were clicking. They scored a couple of goals. They were vibing. They were cheering each other on, banging sticks on the boards. Like, they looked like they were having a really good time. They should have. They were playing well.
It would be a massive new weapon in the arsenal if the Avs had a legitimate second power play unit. Now, some of that comes down to they need enough healthy guys. Some of that comes down to they need to actually use it. Bednar did say during training camp, hey, we're going to use 2 units this year. We want to take that for whatever you will. How much is that lip service versus how much are they going to actually do it? I don't know. But with Hackstall in charge of that unit, the easiest change for him to make is to use Unit 2 more.
Yeah. And you're saying it's a good weapon for them, but I think that part of it being a good weapon is that the rest that you're giving Makar and McKinnon is going to make them better at 5v5.
An extra 90 seconds of 5v5 for those guys, or whatever it is.
Like that, keeping them fresh for those 5v5 minutes is going to be you either not playing them or they're out there a little with better legs.
Yeah, you're not dying at the end of every game with your 28 minutes or whatever it ends up being some nights that it was last year. So are we expecting that unit to be stable? Guys like Olofsson, guys like Colton on it. It's not like they have many other forward options that you would feel good about on a power play unit, but can they keep it consistent, at least as the 8 forwards they're using on the power play this year?
Yeah, I think that should be stable. I think the big question is you have Sam Malinsky, Sam Girard, Devon Taves, and Brent Burns. Those are all 4 guys who have played a lot of power play times in their lives.
True.
Those are all 4 of those guys are well known for their puck moving ability.
Yep. Simple rotation on the defensive side if you want it to. Good point from Cujo in the Toyota chat as well. We've mentioned this before too, but a Landeskog Burns connection makes sense in a lot of ways. Heavy volume shooting defenseman that knows how to shoot for the big bodies in front. And Landeskog, presuming the skills have not faded over the last 3 years, should be the Avs' best tip player when it comes to the net front presence.
Yeah, and that's where Landeskog Unit 2, I think, is a really, like, Landeskog, Brent Burns, that's magic just waiting to happen.
Right. So you can see why maybe they went with Nichushkin on the top unit instead of Landy up there with those guys. But
yeah. And there's and you kind of see like a similar alignment, right?
Yep.
Like you've got your puck hound and Arturi Lehkonen.
Yeah.
You've got a Landy is like your like net front guy, like a guy that can make some plays for you.
Yep.
And Ross Colton's a good shooter. If you watched him in Tampa Bay, he had a good one-timer that was utilized on the power play really well. And then Taves, Burns,
whichever
yeah, both of those guys can do something.
It's when you do compare the interesting part of that I maybe have reservations about the first unit.
Yeah.
How do you divvy up the roles? Can Nichushkin be the net front guy and also be a puck hound for them? Because you talk about Marty Necas kind of being the swing guy going in down behind the net. When you have possession, that's great. But if you need someone to dig out a puck, can Necas fill in on that role effectively, or are you asking Val to do even more?
That's a tough question.
I know.
That's a tough question, man. I honestly don't know. I think with Val, I think my personal opinion is I'm not expecting Val to stay there.
Sure.
because I think it's just sort of an odd fit.
It's a pretty easy rotation through, not just Landy, but throw Lehkonen into that conversation too. The three of them can kind of just rotate around the power play units.
Well, and frankly, what we saw from Ross Colton last year in the bumper spot makes you wonder.
It did work at the start of the year.
Hey, if you were to move Nelson away from that, or you want to get a little crazy, you take Nathan McKinnon, you put him on your second unit, and you put Colton and Nelson on that unit. Are you getting a little too cute now? Because you could easily make that argument, but I do wonder, like, is that the best way to spread out the talent and be consistently dangerous through all 2 minutes? The other argument being, you don't want to use all 2 minutes. You want to use 40 seconds and let your top unit just score.
I do think I would not move Nathan McKinnon to the second unit. Nathan McKinnon would stand on my first unit, but
that's just the McKinnon Natchez are on different units. And then
we watched Marty Natchez be the zone entry guy in the preseason game the other day. If you throw him on unit 2 to be the zone entry guy, maybe it frees you up to have, now you can have Nichushkin and a Lehkonen go be the puck hound when Nichushkin's the net front guy. So there are multiple different options there as far as, I guess, to simplify all of this, do not expect the Avs power play units to be set in stone.
Yeah, and I think we haven't touched on this, but we're talking about first unit, second unit, that your top line is going to draw a lot of penalties.
It should.
There's no longer going to be like the same pressure to say, okay, hey, top unit just drew a penalty. You've been out there for 40 seconds. Now go play on the power play.
Yep.
You can play your second unit with confidence. And that, I think, is I don't want to say luxury. That's not the right word, but I think it's a strength. I think it's an area where you can flex a little bit on them.
Yep. You're not worried about the perfect situation because you can just make it work.
Can I just, Cujo in our Toyota chat mentions Olofsson on the top power play unit. I think that is something that should get looked at, using him in that shooter spot that Nelson was in today.
One thing, yeah.
Yeah, because like he has legitimately a top 15-ish one-timer in the NHL. It's a real weapon.
The best one on the Avs.
You want to use that thing. And if you're using it there, you want to get a little crazy and you want to move him in the middle, he has such a quick release. As long as
he unloads, yeah.
He has such a quick release that you can put him in the middle of the ice as soon as they give him an inch. Because, hey, you are going to be worried about Brock Nelson, Cale Makar, Nathan McKinnon. That's going to spread your PK out. And if you get spread out a little bit, and he ends up with a little bit of space, he doesn't need much, man.
Just enough to get it off.
You put him right in the middle of the ice for you.
You can pick a corner, absolutely.
I mean, I mentioned Ross Colton earlier just because we saw him do exactly this last year, but like Victor Olofsson's made a career of it.
He's kind of just the turbo version of that.
Yeah. You could do either one of those guys, and this is why the top 9 for the Avalanches is so exciting.
Yep. Do want to talk about the Avalanche as a whole, but we do need to take our next break here, so let's make sure we're doing that. When the Avs are on the power play, make sure you're choosing chill with ice-cold Coors Light. While you're watching the Avs maybe succeed, maybe fail. Either way, you're chilling. They've got the Blue Mountains on the bottle or the can that lets you know it's ice cold and ready to drink. Of course, it's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you get your Coors Light, you can get them in pretty much any liquor store in the country, but you can also get them delivered right to your front door at CoorsLight.com/DNVR, thanks to Instacart. So take all the mess, complicatedness out of it. Just get it delivered right to your front door. You're sitting right on the couch. Maybe you forgot to get some beers for the game. No big deal. Coors Light has you covered. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill and choose Coors Light. Again, get Coors Light delivered right to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR today. Thanks to Instacart to get it delivered. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Of course, celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Once you've got your Coors Light and you're enjoying the game, if you want to make a little bit of extra beer money, maybe you should be using Ent Credit Union. They have an awesome product for all of our Broncos fans out there, and right now, Broncos fans need to be pinching every penny to enjoy life at the moment. Jump in with their Broncos checking account. You can get every 15 swipes on your Broncos checking debit card, enters you for the chance to win home game tickets to a Broncos game. The Broncos debit card also has a limited edition Bo Nix one that is available now, and you get 10% off food and gear on game days at Empower Field. Plus, they have other great perks like no surprise fees and more when it comes to the Broncos checking account. If you're ready to bank like a Bronco, head on over to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR to learn more. Of course, Ent is insured by NCUA. Membership required. Account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Are we good on the power play? Should we move to the PK?
Yeah. I don't have as many thoughts.
That's fine. We don't need to spend too long on it.
Just because of what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Like the personnel, like Devon Taves, Brent Burns were not on the PK unit. So you're...
Forward side, though, you do have the Bardakov-Kelly.
Yeah, so I want to talk about Zakhar Bardakov a little bit. He playing with Parker Kelly. Got a lot of one-on-one with Nolan Pratt. He was really hammering away at certain details that he wants to see from Bardakov. And I think that is great. The Avalanche are doing, clearly the Avalanche are doing absolutely everything that they can to be like, this is our 4C.
Not giving them the halfway install.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is not somebody that they are not dipping their toes in with this. They are going, this is our guy. This is our guy, and he's going to have to fail and make us make a change.
Yep.
And look, what we saw the other day in the preseason game,
feels good. Yeah,
right?
No complaints.
What's the problem here? So, other than the boarding.
Yeah.
Which I was really disappointed to see that Logan Cooley is day-to-day now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's not what you wanted, man. And it's a bad hit. He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm really, really, really like what I see out of Bardakov in all facets of the game right now. I also just want to say, that we have watched so many guys fight for roster spots.
Yep.
Over the years. And I don't know that I can think of a single guy who has had the same kind of sponge-like energy as Bardakov, where he's having conversations with everybody.
Yep.
He talks to all of his line mates. He talks to guys he's not on a line with.
Yep.
He's asking questions. You can see him motioning because he doesn't speak great English. Although it seems like every day goes by, he speaks a little bit better English every single time that somebody mentions something about him. So, you're seeing him soak up so much information and use it positively.
Yep.
And these are the types of intangibles you cannot get when you watch guys on video. You don't, when you just watch them play and you say, okay, here's who he is as a player, right?
Right.
But you don't know what that work rate looks like.
Yep.
You don't know how he practices. You don't know how he takes to coaching. You don't know if he's just going, who are these guys? What are they telling me? And we're seeing this kid has completely embraced it, and the Avalanche are, okay, he's taking this on more and more and more. It's really encouraging. Doesn't mean he's going to be successful, but this is how you get an NHLer out of this job.
Yep.
You have a guy that just works.
Look, it's the type of player that Jared Bednar will give leash to. If you're smart and you're high energy, you will find a role in Jared Bednar's
Ask questions.
system.
Be present.
Yep.
Care about it. We have seen high picks for the Avalanche in the last 6, 7, 8 years come through the system quiet. They play quiet games. They're quiet people. You need to be engaged in what's going on. It's not, this is a job interview. Anytime anybody that's ever been on a job interview will tell you, you got to stand out. You got to make yourself noticeable. It's not just about answering the 5-year plan question with something that's coherent. You've got to be able to have personality. You've got to fit into the culture. And right now, we talked to Parker Kelly about it the other day. Parker Kelly seems like Zakhar Bardakov's
best friends.
Yeah, like his best friend works, because I can't think of the word I'm trying to get to.
Mentor.
Yeah, that's a little strong, but advocate. Thank you. That's it.
We got there.
Biggest advocate. He's all about it. I even mentioned it today. I talked to him after practice, and I was just like, solid day from Bardakov? Just in passing? And he goes, oh, yeah, he's getting it. He's picking it up, getting a little bit better every day. You get a little bit better every day, coaches are going to love you.
Yep.
I'm hyped on a 4th-line center. I'm not worried about a 2nd-line center. What world am I in right now? Are we still covering the Avalanche?
Strange for the Avalanche, yeah.
What is this?
It's interesting because if you're a 50 to 60 point guy, if you're a good high-end NHLer, you can be a quiet guy.
Totally.
You know, you don't have to be the most vocal guy in the room if you're going out there and producing on the ice. Jonathan Drouin, I think, is a great example of that.
God, it's such a good example.
But if you're playing 4C, yeah, you need some of that extra stuff.
Yeah. Well, and you got to be able to play a little bit of a loud game.
Yep.
Along with it. And we know Bardakov can do that. That was one of the things we knew coming in.
Yep.
This is something he brings to the table. He hasn't been shy about it. I have to say, I love that he has played with that kind of confidence from day one.
Yep.
We're not sitting here wondering what's going on with this guy. Where's
tentativeness diving in?
Exactly.
Sure.
This, because you can understand first day on the job, it's the NHL. Hey, that's Nathan McKinnon. Like you could be intimidated by this environment, and he hasn't been. He has taken to it. He's acted like he's belonged. He's walked the walk. He's learning how to talk the talk.
Yep.
I'm encouraged.
Let's talk about that environment a little bit as we get into this portion of the year. If you turn the calendar back exactly 1 year ago,
yeah,
and you compare where the Avs were at to where the Avs are now, I think there are some interesting things because we look at the Avs lineup and we say, the Avs 6D is a little weird. You have Malinsky playing as offside. Yeah. Maybe you don't love that. You have Middleton as your 7, depending on who you are. Maybe you don't love that.
P.S. Corey from the Denver Post talked to Keaton Middleton today, and I'm not going to give away the quotes that I didn't get. Like, sure, they're not mine.
Just overheard, yeah.
But whatever he's writing about, you should go and check it out because great interview by Corey. He did a great job.
He does good work.
Yeah. Keaton gave some great perspective on his role.
So you have that with Middleton. Stick just with the defense with me for a minute. We'll get to the other stuff. You look at the defense last year, September 23rd, September 24th, whatever today is.
23rd.
The Avs didn't even know who their 6th D was going to be at this point last year. They had a rotation of Oliver Shillington, Calvin DeHaan, and I don't think Brandstrom had been traded yet at that point. He might,
yeah, I don't think he had been yet because he got into a couple preseason games.
Yeah.
Whew.
So, yes, we're sitting here saying, well, there's question marks. Who's the Avs 8th D this year? What does that actual defensive depth look like? Sure, but their actual lineup of defensemen is a lot more solidified at this point in the year, assuming Girard is healthy by game 2 or something.
Definitely. I mean, I think they're in such a better place. Obviously, the injuries.
Yeah.
Open of training camp last year, they didn't have Gabe Landeskog, Arturi Lekkinen, and Val Nichushkin.
That's why I kind of want to stay away.
That is half of your top 6.
Yeah, which are all healthy this year, by the way.
And then you have turned over Martin Netchis or Mikko Rantanen and Casey Middlestad have turned into Martin Netchis and Brock Nelson. You've turned over.
Yep.
From where you were in camp last year, you have turned over 5 of your top 6 forwards.
Yep.
That's stability. And all of those guys were on your team in the postseason.
True. It's not like this is their first rodeo.
And then you go down your lineup. Parker Kelly was on your team. Jack Drury was on your team. Ross Colton was on your team, though did not really play in the series. He played 7 minutes of the series.
He got hurt immediately.
Yoel Kiviranta was on your team. Kiviranta was a hard third-line guy for the Avs last year. And right now,
there is liner.
If your forward core stays healthy for when Logan O'Connor comes back,
is he even in the lineup?
Kiviranta could be easily your healthy scratch.
Yeah, it's true.
Last year he played next to Nathan
there was top 6 minutes for that guy at times
because they had to, and of course they could be so injured again in 3 weeks that same thing takes place. But right now, it would require that stuff happening. It's really
they aren't
encouraging.
De facto starting the season.
Exactly. And that's when we talk about the season and the preparation for it. The Avs have been a good regular season team. And I know a lot of people have problems with Jared Bednar and the first round losses and the game 7s, and they can't get past Pete DeBoer. And I get all that.
Right now, that's April's problem.
But I also, my point is that you have to give him a lot of credit for what he has done in the regular season with some beat up rosters. That team won 49 games last year using 49 players.
Yep. It's ridiculous. Now, even take away the trades, that's still 40-something players.
It's obscene.
Yeah, the amount of injuries that the Avs have gone through, and honestly, 2 of these last 3 years has been, I don't want to say unfair because there is no fairness in life. It's just stuff happens, but
this is existential.
The Avs are one of the most injured teams in the NHL over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
and you remember the Game 7 loss to Dave Haxtell in Seattle, where it was Lars Eller was your second line center.
You were that down bad.
Like Lars Eller, JT Compher, Evan Rodriguez is like your second line.
Evan Rodriguez might have been your second best player in that series. Like third best.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was Miko and Nate were both really, really good in that series.
Sure. Fair enough.
Maybe lucky. But still, your point is that Evan Rodriguez
shouldn't be your 6th best player.
He was a hard top 6 guy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
A hard top 6 guy. And look, the success that he has had in Florida, third line.
Yep.
Great third line
in
guy.
the correct role.
Yep.
Properly used. That works. Yeah.
Properly used. And you compare that, it is so not hard to draw a line between Evan Rodriguez and Victor Olofsson.
Yep.
And go, huh.
Interesting.
They do it in different ways, of course, but like similar situations, similar role, put into a position for success.
Yep.
I think the bottom 6 is why I'm more hyped on this year's team than I was last year's, because before the Olofsson and Kiviranta signings, it was a lot of like, dude, what are we going to do here? We're looking at this preseason saying, okay, well, Ivan, Nikita Prischapov, Matt Steinberg, Zakhar Bardakov. Who's gonna win?
You're talking about 15 deep there. Like,
who's gonna win one of these jobs?
Right.
And it was like 3 of these guys need to win jobs. Yep. They signed 2 of those guys. I miss Colfax, baby.
Yeah.
I missed Colfax. That guy derailed me. He's honking at the wrong person.
The guy's battling for
yes,
positions.
Thank
now,
you.
There's
all
only
of those
one
guys.
now. Yeah.
And all of those guys are losing the jobs in front of us. Like
straight up getting owned by Bardakov.
And frankly, all of them have been outplayed by Gavin Brindley to the point where Gavin Brindley was the extra forward today.
And rightfully so.
Yeah. Dion, can you bring up group 2 for us? Just the lineup? Because when you look at this lineup, that's the Colorado Eagles.
Yep. 100. That is literally the Colorado Eagles lineup.
That is the Colorado Eagles. Little bit of love for my Hank Kemp, Connor Kelly, like pet projects here.
I'm down.
Little bit of hate for
Kelly.
Little bit of hate for my Gagne.
You're a Gagne lover for sure.
I think I'm out on a limb on this one.
Yeah, you might be on your own there.
Am I on my own on all 3 of those guys?
No, I like Kelly.
Okay.
And Kemp has been fine, like no complaints.
I just wanted to see Kemp play, and it felt very telling when he didn't.
If you're asking me today who's better, it's Gagne is better than Kemp as a player. But
yeah, I think so too. But we're talking about really appropriately like second, third pairing, like in the AHL. We'll see where we're at here. Not even like that though, because Jack Ashawn was in the NHL group. Wyatt Amat was in the NHL group. Yeah. So I think it's so fascinating with this Avs where they are today versus where they were last year. You remember it was not long into the season that your second line was Nikolai Kovalenko.
Yep.
Casey Middlestat, Ivan. And right now, Kovalenko's in the KHL. Yep. Casey Middlestat's on Boston's third line at wing.
And Ivan's going to be in the Eagles next week. Yeah.
Ivan has not done enough to win the 14th forward job.
Yep.
What would de facto be the 14th? I'm still counting LOC, so I guess on opening night is the 13th forward job. Yep. Has not separated from the pack
at all.
And that guy was on your second line.
Yep.
How? And you had the worst goaltending. How in the world were they winning games?
Sheer force of will of Nathan McKinnon.
Just McKinnon, Rantanen, and Makar. It can't. Hockey is too hard. Those guys only play a third of the game. You're talking about 2/3 of the game are taking place without them on the ice. It cannot be that. I didn't mean for this to be the case, but this has turned into Jared Bednar needs a little bit more love from some of the haters. Not love, recognition.
Sure.
Recognition of how hard that job has actually been the last couple of years.
I would agree.
And what a better position the whole organization is right now.
And you look at, I guess, the more relaxed I think the entire Avs-osphere feels about the Avs forward core.
Did you call it the Avsosphere?
I did.
That's awesome.
I hate Avs Nation. I
do too. Well, and Avs country feels like Broncos country.
Yeah, exactly.
And Avs land just sort of feels like a bad country, like a country that's about to get overrun by its much larger neighbor. So thank you so much for giving us Avsosphere, because I'm running with this. I will only refer to it as that now.
Great. I love that for me. But
I love that for me.
You look at Brock Nelson at the 2C spot. And look, I was a Casey Middlestat believer. Like, I didn't think it was going to go as badly as it did last year.
Same.
But when you look at filling that role with a more prototypical 2C, Nelson has the size. Nelson has the shooting ability. Nelson has more of what the Avs lacked last season.
Yeah.
When it comes to a top 6 role down the middle.
Well, and he will bring the thunder on a game where the offense isn't clicking.
Yep.
When it wasn't working for Casey Middlestat,
just disappeared.
There was nothing there. And that was always a concern for him. And you're not wrong to say it went way worse than any of us imagined.
Yeah.
And it has put me on edge about Brock Nelson. It really has. Because you think about it. Post Kadri.
Yep.
JT Compher. And JT Compher has been the most productive of them.
51 points, was it? 52 points?
I think it was 52.
Yeah.
52 points, okay? JT Compher, Alex Newhook, Ryan Johansson, Ross Colton. And Ross Colton was we have to do something.
We need somebody, yeah.
Sort of Lars Eller, because again, have to do something. Not so much, but a little bit at times. And then Casey Middlestat.
Yep.
I listed 6 guys. If you want to take Lars Eller away, to be
5 guys who legitimately played the spot.
5 guys who got burned as your second line center since Kadri left.
There are
in 3 years. That is not good.
It has to, especially because of the extension. It has to work this time with Brock Nelson.
It does.
You can't keep doing this forever.
There's no alternative there.
Yeah.
You burned your assets.
Yep.
This has to work. You went out and you got the best guy that was available for that job at the deadline last year. You used a top pick and you used your top skating prospect.
Yep.
What else you got left? You were already arguably the worst pipeline in the NHL.
You're not any better today. Yeah.
Because right now, I'm telling you, Mikhail Guliev and Gavin Brindley are not getting you the next shot at the 2C. And now you're talking about, it's a 2027 first.
Yeah.
So now you're just never going to pick in the first round again?
Just going forever at that point. Yeah.
Yep.
Just go full basketball and give somebody a 2035 first or something.
I mean, I've said multiple times, they've got access to the 2028 second rounder. They have two.
Yeah.
They have 2 2027 second rounders.
Yeah.
At some point, 3 second rounders has got to equal a first, right?
And we do expect the Avs to have that ammo for the trade deadline more than right now.
Yes.
But yeah, you look at that, and then you mentioned it very briefly. Yes, Mackenzie Blackwood's going to start the season hurt, but
took shots today.
Yeah, Bednar said, we're expecting him to be back a couple weeks into the season, maybe 1 week into the season.
Yeah, I think a fair expectation is 1 week.
So not something that's going to significantly drag into the year,
which is like 3 games.
Yeah, and your 3 games are getting played by Scott Wedgwood, who is a guy you trust.
Yeah, a guy who was great for you last year.
So
great for you.
While the season hasn't started yet, I think a lot of people make the mistake of comparing where the Avs are right now to where they were in April.
Yeah.
And that's not really a fair comparison because you haven't had the trade deadline. You haven't had all of this setup of the year.
Can we do this though?
Yeah, let's do it.
Real quick. Since I know. Oh, I guess we're not that late.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
We have some time. Dion, do we have anybody behind us today? Yeah. Ugh. Okay.
We could be fast.
Boring. Comparing to the Game 7 lineup, okay?
Yeah.
Your top 6 is the same.
Correct.
You're missing Charlie Coyle as 3C.
Correct.
Kivi Ranta is now Victor Olofsson.
Yep.
Jonathan Duran is now Ross Colton.
Yeah.
Your 4th line, and Jack Drury is now,
line,
Charlie Coyle is now Jack Drury.
Yep.
Parker Kelly is still Parker Kelly.
Yep.
Jack Drury is now that version. 4C Jack Drury is now Zakhar Bardakov.
Correct.
And Logan O'Connor is now Yoel Kiviranta.
Yeah.
But eventually LOC again. Okay?
Yep.
That was probably really confusing audio-wise. Great format in my brain. But are they worse?
There's going to be some finagling here. Are they worse on paper? Maybe. But when you look...
Where?
3C.
Okay, so you think that it's how much of a downgrade? Because I think I would argue that 3C and 4C, they're worse because Jack Drury was a really, really good 4C.
We just don't know what Bardakov is. I don't know if they're worse or not.
I think it's fair to say right now, yes.
Sure.
Because you don't know, and with Jack Drury, you do. And you don't know how good Jack Drury is as a 3C, and you know that Charlie Coyle is solid.
Here's the one argument I will make there that maybe they aren't worse at 3C. On paper, Charlie Coyle is significantly better than Jack Drury. In that playoff series, Charlie Coyle was bad.
Not only this, I would argue that for a third-line wing, they upgraded Ross Colton, taking Jonathan Duran's spot. Because Jonathan Duran was also bad. And Victor Olofsson in for Kiviranta.
If you're trying to get the 16-goal season out of Kiviranta again, Victor Olofsson can give you that. I don't know that Kiviranta can. I'll put it to you that way.
Olofsson can't give you that defensive play.
True.
He's not that guy.
That's true.
Kiviranta is excellent defensively. That's what makes him valuable on your fourth line.
Yeah, agreed.
So it's really the top six you feel is the same. It's just let's figure it out. But the bottom six, I think overall, it's better on the wing and it's worse at center today.
With potential at center to improve.
With just 2 question marks of it's not like we've seen in past years where we're like, we don't even know if this guy can play in the NHL. We don't know if this guy can handle this role in the NHL. That's about Drury. Bardakov is, we don't know if he can play in the NHL.
And that's such an easy problem to fix at the dead. If you get to the deadline, you're like, oh no, we need one bottom six center.
Guess what second round picks are great for?
Just ask Lars Eller.
So, too soon. Honestly, Lars Eller for that pick on this team.
Yeah, it would make a ton of sense.
Such a better deal than on that team that needed a lot of help.
Yeah, needed a lot of things.
Then you get to the defense, okay?
Cartes is the same.
5 of your 6 defenders are the same. You've gone from Ryan Lindgren to Brent Burns. Are you worse?
No, you're better.
Here we are.
The one question mark there is Sam Malinsky on the left side. What does that look like?
And is Sam Malinsky, dovetails perfectly into my next point, is Sam Malinsky worse than Ryan Lindgren on the left side? It would be very hard to be.
Yeah.
It would be very hard to be.
I can't say with certainty, but just don't know.
But there should be a significant upgrade of Sam Malinsky on the right side to Brent Burns on the right side. Significant upgrade there.
That. Yeah. Enough for me to comfortably say they're better. Again, assuming Girard is healthy for game 1 or 2 or whatever.
We are making that assumption. And Keaton Middleton was the 7. He was the 8 last year because Eric Johnson was there.
Once Johnson came in,
But Eric Johnson was at the end
great.
there.
It wasn't great.
I mean, anyway, not the point. But your depth is kind of still a big question mark there with Keaton Middleton at the 7. Wyatt Amat was not bad today in his little look.
Yep.
Jack Ashawn was. It was very funny though. Keaton Middleton 6'7", Jack Ashawn's 5'8", and they were on a pairing together, and I just kept laughing.
The tall and the small.
I was like, he could just eat that guy.
And then their goalies are the same once Blackwood is healthy, so that's in there too. But I think the other side of it is worth remembering. The Avs played .500 hockey with the worst goaltending tandem in the league.
Yes.
For 2 months to start the year last year.
God, I'm getting hyped, dude.
I know. There's an opportunity for them to be really, really good.
You and I asked you for your season prediction for the written preview that we're doing on the website that'll come out the few days before the season opener.
Yep.
And without knowing what mine was, you gave me yours. We both picked them to finish first in the Central, and we both picked them to have a very good
number.
year.
Yeah,
a very
pretty large
good year.
number of points was on that.
Yeah.
So
it is over 100.
it's a good amount over 100 for me.
Me too.
But that's the excitement is building. We'll put it to you that way as we're wrapping up today's show. Any final thoughts here, AJ?
Excited for tomorrow. Excited to continue to talk to some of the players and start to get a feel about it, because I think I'm going to write about it this week, that there's just the
vibes are up.
The vibiness of this team feels in a really good place.
Immaculate, dare you say?
No, I'm not going to immaculate yet.
That when they're 10-0 to start the season, they can be immaculate.
They're going to go 9-1 now. Thank you.
Yeah, they're still immaculate at 9-1.
I don't know. I'll let this go.
We are out of
I'll
here
let this go.
for today. We appreciate all y'all hanging out with us on this one. We're live 4 more days this week, all the way through Saturday, which will be a post game. So keep it tuned in here. Have a bunch of other content. There should be at least one video coming out this week from me on the YouTube channel. So keep it here. We appreciate y'all. This has been the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.